from Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas here in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee, my coffee with Gino cup here. My Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is my choice of a 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Coffee, cream, and sugar powder form. You put it in your cup, put hot water, and you have a nice cup of coffee. Lots of people drink 3-in-1 here in the Philippines. Very popular coffee here in the Philippines, 3-in-1. Let me just make sure I'm online here. Hope everybody is doing well this morning. Okay, let me see here. All right, it looks like I'm good. I can look at the comments on my screen here on my laptop, also on my phone. Hey, good morning, Ray in the Philippines. Good morning. Joe Cano, hey, good morning, Brother Joe. I got cut off on my, now I have to apologize for that, cut off on my last live stream. I actually had to delete it. What happened is my internet went out. I have fiber optic internet from a Calibo cable, but that's just the way it is here in the Philippines. With Wi-Fi, with smart data on your phone, just not reliable. It's just not reliable. We live here in the province, so maybe if you live in the city like Manila, Cebu City, or Iloilo City, they have a more reliable Wi-Fi there and data. But here in the province, this is what we got. It's like I don't have even have any other choice here in our community. I remember at one time there was PLDT here, but that went away also. So we're really, if you want like a land hookup, it's only Calibo cable. We don't have another choice. I was having issues with PLDT that's just the way it is here with internet, with smartphone data. On my phone, I can go to Calibo, and there's days when I don't get a signal. It's part of living here in the Philippines. The infrastructure is not the best. They don't have the best infrastructure here. So it is what it is. It's what we deal with here in the Philippines. If you're moving here, that's something you're going to have to get used to here. The weather, I always start with the weather here. Today, it's currently 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Beautiful weather outside. It was sunny. I took Leanna to school. I think this might be her last day of school. They're having like a party at school. Friday, tomorrow is a holiday here in the Philippines. Also, Monday is a holiday here in Aklan province. So 4-day weekend, I guess, for people that live here in Aklan. Earlier, the sun was really bright. Now there's some clouds, but I don't expect any rain. We're done with all the rain here. We haven't gotten any rain at all. Suten, hello, Suten, hello. So for the Pag-asa, I always do the weather report here in the Philippines. Pag-asa is the government weather channel here in the Philippines. Pretty much the Manila, rest of the country, the whole country, no weather system of any kind. It just says partly cloudy skies with isolated rain showers. Because of the northeast monsoon, the amihan season. But they will be announcing here, I predict next week, the Pag-asa, our weather people here, will officially announce that it's the start of summer already. It's already summer. I already feel it's summer here in the Philippines. During the day, we've been reaching upper 80 degree Fahrenheit. Soon here, we're going to hit hot 90-degree temperatures for sure. Also report on the dollar exchange rate. It's hitting all-time highs almost every day now. Right now, the dollar to peso exchange rate, 59.72. That's the current exchange. But constantly hitting all-time highs now. Only a matter of time till it hits 60. I think it actually hit 60 already during the day, but it closed, I think, right around 59.90, but now it's 59.72. Very high exchange rate here in the Philippines for the dollar. Okay, as far as the weather, next week they're actually expecting extreme danger level heat index next week. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be the start of summer season here. From after next week, first week of April, Holy Week, that's a big holiday here in the Philippines, Holy Week. It's going to get hot here. They're expecting heat indexes of it says here 50 degrees Celsius. So I can't compute that real quick, so I got to type it in, see how much how Celsius to Fahrenheit calculator here. All right, let me do that. Let me just so for 50, that is like 122, the heat index. So here it comes. Summer is here. The heat is coming. When you hit like 45 degrees Celsius, 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, that's like 115, 122 degrees Fahrenheit heat index. So it's going to getting hot here in the Philippines. April and May are the hottest months here in the Philippines. Extreme heat. I've been through some hot weather. I lived in Arizona for 7 years. I lived in Texas for 4 years, San Antonio, Texas. California, not so much. Louisiana, that sticky, that muggy, sticky heat. Nothing compares to the heat in the Philippines. It takes some getting used to the heat here in the Philippines, especially during the summer months. April and May, the hottest it is here in the Philippines. Good morning, O.B. Olson, Aliyah, and my good buddy Isaiah. Good morning, brother. Hello, fellow Gino fans. Thank you there, Olson. Appreciate it. My friends in Columbia, South Carolina. Howdy, Alan from Texas, the Lone Star, White Sand. My good friend Alan in Texas. J-Boy, hey, Brother Gino. All right, J-Boy, thank you for joining the live stream. JD, that's why I'm staying in Baguio on my retirement. Good choice. That was actually, before I came to the Philippines, number one on my choice was always going to be Boracay. That's where I ended up. Number two actually was Baguio City. But after I visited Baguio City, it was no longer the Baguio City that I remember. Back in the 70s when I was a kid, we would go up to Baguio. And then when I got stationed at Clark Air Base, I was in the United States military. I was stationed at Clark Air Base. And I would go to Baguio City in the late 80s until 91 when we got evacuated out of Clark. And I would go there. It just says, not the same. It doesn't have the same Baguio feel. I mean, it's still cooler weather, but it's not as cool as you think, because I went to Baguio like March. I went to Baguio in March, and I had shorts and t-shirt the whole time. It was hot, even in Baguio during summer. I mean, it's still cooler because you're higher elevation, but it's not as cold as what it used to be even in the summer months. And then it rains a lot. That's the thing about Baguio that you have to consider. If you want to stay in Baguio City, man, it rains a lot in Baguio. Even in March when we were there. March is summer, April is summer. In the afternoon, thunderstorms. In the evening, it would rain. I didn't really expect Baguio to have that much rain, but I guess it makes sense because that's how all the vegetables, all the strawberry, everything grows well there because of the cooler temperature, the rain. But not my destination anymore. I prefer the beach, but it's a good retirement destination. If you're looking for cooler weather, definitely Baguio City or Tagaytay is the two places. Really nice retirement places here in the Philippines. Wish to reach God. Hey, we all wish to reach God. I hope, we all wish to reach God. Derek, aloha, my brother in Hawaii. I have relatives in Alkin, South Carolina. Go Gamecocks, right? Gamecocks. I remember South Carolina. I used to watch college football, man. JD, unfortunately, is extremely crowded. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I no longer. I've taken Dazzle, my wife. We've had 2 trips to Baguio City, and it is just crowded now in Baguio City. Traffic. You know, we drove our car when we went there. We took our car to the ferry to Batangas, then drove to Baguio, and we were there in Baguio for a week. I just left our car in the Airbnb when we start riding jeepneys because I would be stuck in traffic. In Baguio City, I was stuck in traffic, and then I couldn't find parking by Burham Park, even the SM Baguio. There's no parking anywhere. So after the first trip, I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna park the car in the Airbnb and just ride the jeepney in Baguio. Super crowded now in Baguio, especially during summer, man. That's the summer capital of the Philippines. I've spent 6 months in Baguio twice now. Yeah. It's, like I said, it doesn't have the same feel of Baguio to me anymore that I remember back in the 70s and even in the late 80s. You know, back was not bad. Now it's like a city. It's a full-on city now. But I'm from Michigan, so it's, oh, all right, Jade, I can agree. I mean, at least it's a easier adjustment for you coming from Michigan to go to like up in the mountains. It'll still be cooler. Skating Geezer, my good friend in Ormoc City, my Air Force brother. Gino, friends, and the remarkable Ormoc City. I know, Ormoc City. Derek, rest in peace, Lou Holtz. I remember Lou Holtz. I did see that news that Lou Holtz passed away. He was a coach for the Gamecocks, and then he became more popular when he moved to Notre Dame. But I know he was one of the coaches there, I think, before he moved to Notre Dame. Grab and Jeepney are my choice. Yeah, when we went to Baguio, we were there 4 years ago, Dazzle and I. That was the last time we were in Baguio City. We just started taking jeepneys because if you drive your car, it'll just frustrate you trying to find parking and also the traffic. It should be 90 this weekend in Dallas, Fort Worth. I hate cold. Me, I don't mind the cold if I visit it. I wouldn't want to live in cold. I wouldn't want to live in snow anymore. You know, it's like that's one thing I'm grateful here in the Philippines is the warmer temperatures here throughout the year. It's like we got warm temperatures. Okay, I have a lot of news. Because that's why I think it's good that I'm only doing every other day live streams because I can accumulate things that are going on here in the Philippines. Of course, the biggest issue here right now is gasoline prices. It is high. Even here in Calibo, we started before the Middle East war in the Middle East around 58 pesos. It had gone up to like 73 pesos. Now we're at 84 pesos. So from 58 pesos a liter to 84 pesos a liter. Basically, gas here in our area is over $6 a gallon. You know, I'm not going to do the computation, but that's around $6 a gallon here. More expensive than it is in the U.S. Because, you know, our supply, 90% of our oil comes from the Middle East. So really gonna hurt here. But you know, we have our tricycle, we have Bumblebee, our tricycle, so we're riding our tricycle more. The motorbike, we have a motorbike also that we call Batman. So I'm riding the motorbike and the tricycle. The car is on reserve. The car is on reserve right now. And also with that, they are expecting looming problem here with the oil supply here in the Philippines. They are looking at late April and early May. They're gonna run out here because the Philippines don't have a lot of oil reserves. The oil reserves here in the Philippines is only about 30 days. And a lot of the oil we get is from the Middle East. So I guess more news to come. We'll see. We'll see after 30 days how oil, how it will be here in the Philippines, since we're not getting any oil from the Middle East. And I don't think we have many other sources, because we're in the same boat as all the Southeast Asian countries, Japan, China even. We're on the same boat. We get most of our oil from the Middle East. So plane tickets here already have gone up. 500 to the domestic flights already have gone up 500 to 800 pesos per domestic flight. And they're even expecting, right here, it says in April, it's going to even climb up more. The average after, right here it says, effective April 1st, all tickets, domestic flights at a minimum will increase about 835 pesos. That's almost about $15 for a domestic flight. And for international flight, it's going to go up 6,200, about 6,000, over $100 for international flights, starting 1 April. Tickets have already gone up, but they're expecting 1 April is going to be the big jump in airline tickets. So for Dazzle and I, we're just going to stay home. We're just going to stay home. Too much unknown with the gas prices right now. Gas is 84 cents higher here in Texas. Once this conflict is over, it will go back down. Yes. I hope it goes. You know how it is here in the Philippines. When prices go up here, they take their time to go down. A lot of the businesses here, I'm sure will take advantage. And there's already price gouging going on. There's already you can go from a gas station to gas station, and they all have different prices here. JD, it's gotten worse in Baguio. Bohol, Iloilo were my second choices. To me, that is like, for me, like I said, if I had to do it all over again, I retired here 15 years ago. I'm retired here in Aklan province for 15 years. The reason I ended up here in Aklan was Boracay Island. My first 18 months was spent in Boracay Island. And if I had to retire again, if this is my first day in the Philippines, I will definitely select Boracay again. Panglao, Bohol would be my number 2, because I'm a beach person. Nothing makes me more happy than being on white sand and turquoise waters. To me, I can live in a hut and be happy looking at the ocean. That's why I like it here in Aklan province. Iloilo's a good choice if you're looking for like a city. To me, Iloilo City is the best city here in the Philippines. Not even close. Well-managed, well-planned city. All the projects they got going on is like amazing. Bicycle friendly, one of the safest city, one of the cleanest city in the Philippines. If I was gonna live in a city, it would be Iloilo City, hands down. I wouldn't even pick another city here. Maybe Dumaguete. Maybe Dumaguete City, a second to Iloilo City. Good morning, Gino and everyone. JP, good morning, my brother. Appreciate you joining the live stream, JP. Derek, so glad we already bought our PAL tickets from Honolulu to Tacloban 2 months ago. Yeah, I'm glad about the thing here though, Derek. Hopefully it works out for you here in the Philippines with the domestic flights. I know you bought your ticket, PAL. Everything's all throughout there. But here in the Philippines, they're tricky about plane tickets here, man. Like Cebu Pacific, sometimes even Philippine Airlines. When the gas prices go up, even if you book your domestic flight, I don't know about international flight. I can't speak about that. But here in the domestic flights here, they can cancel your flight and all of a sudden reopen another flight. Come up with an excuse like, oh, this flight is not valid on this day. We have another flight the following day, but at higher price. It just works different here. Just all I'm saying, Derek. I know you got that flight to Honolulu, probably to Manila or Cebu to Tacloban, but that domestic flight here, gets tricky here. Even if you bought your ticket already here in the Philippines, they do some weird things here that I know that doesn't happen in the U.S. I know because people in the U.S. will complain. Here in the Philippines, people just take it, unfortunately. My wife and I were looking at flights for June from Texas to Manila. It's over 2,000 each. We'll have to wait. Yeah, prices have gone up already. Even here, I'm checking like even flights, domestic flights here. It's gotten really expensive. I hear you. I love little town called Anda on Bohol. Yeah, and Bohol is amazing. It's like I said, I've been here 15 years in Aklan. I love Boracay. I love Aklan province, but Bohol would be my number two. The thing I like about Bohol is their main beach area, their white sand is in Bohol. Here we got to like go in a boat to a ferry ride, 15-minute ferry ride. But we do have white sand in Buruanga, some areas of Nava. So Boracay is not the only on the mainland here. So, but I do like that you don't have to like ride a ferry to go to a nice island. Cost for many things will increase. Ferry prices are up already. Yes, definitely. Ferry prices are up already. Water increase. Everything's gonna go up in price here because not so much here in the province. We will be able to handle the price increase more here in the province because all our fruits, our vegetables, our seafood are locally sourced. Like here in Numancia, Aklan, we have a public market. We're 10 minutes from the beach where the fishermen are. That's where they bring their haul. So it's not going to affect us too much. We have a lot of farmers here. Rice is not going to go up. We got a surplus of rice here. The people that's going to be affected more are the people living in the cities, Manila, Cebu City, even Iloilo City, because they don't have that. They don't have easy access to local products. Everything has to be shipped to them or trucked over to them. And with gas prices going up, even the fishermen here, the local fishermen here in Numancia, of course, their gasoline costs more now, their diesel or whatever they use. So they might have to charge more for their fish. But they can't charge too much because, here in the province, this is rural. The cost of living here is low. A lot of people here won't buy. They just won't buy. They'll just live off what they're plant. A lot of people here have their little plants around their house. Produce here is inexpensive because everybody's got their own plants here. Everybody's got their own farms here. Joel, gas is up $1 since being back in Arizona in less than 3 weeks. Wow. Well, Joel, here in Calibo, we went from 58 pesos per liter to like 84, 85. That's a big jump, man. That's a big jump. Hey, Daniel, howdy, Posse Bros. Hey, Dan, good to see you, brother. Hope all is doing well in Cebu City, man. Hope you're enjoying Cebu City. OB, hello, GP. Howdy, Daniel. How's Japan treating you? He's done with Japan. 2 weeks in Japan. Daniel had an excellent time. Now he's in Cebu City, processing his SRRV. That's why he's in Cebu. So many gas stations that would not post. I know. They're doing it. There's two things happening now. It's either the gas stations will have a no gas, like out of order on their sign, on their pumps, or there's no posting on like it's going up so fast. I guess they're not changing the prices. You don't know how much the gas is until you get to the pump. maybe because they figure they got you trapped already, because there's some lines going on now at the gas station that never used to be here in Calibo or in our town. You never saw lines here for a gas station. All right, that's let me see. I already talked about the dollar. The dollar is hitting all against the peso. Dollar is is hitting all-time highs here in the Philippines. Um, this one article caught my eye because Mount Canlaon has been erupting off and on now for I think Daniel on his way in from Tokyo, he saw Mount Canlaon, like eruption of Mount Canlaon. And what's happening with that eruption? We're like one island away. Negros Island is where Mount Canlaon. We're here in Panay Island, but it's affecting the air, the sulfur dioxide. I had to research what this sulfur dioxide. I guess the volcano emits this sulfur dioxide. So Panay Island, our island, Negros Island, where Mount Canlaon, Masbate, Cebu, Siquijor, and even Zamboanga Peninsula, and also Bohol, they're being affected by this sulfur dioxide. People are encouraged to wear mask, especially if you have like a lung issue. If you have like if you're maybe asthma lung, this sulfur dioxide is not a good thing. If you have like a lung issue, it's what it is. It's a gas mainly released when we burn fossil fuels that contain sulfur, like coal or diesel, or other industrial processes like smelting metals. Volcanoes can also release it naturally. So that's what's happening. Mount Canlaon is releasing sulfur dioxide. It can irritate the lungs, worsen breathing issues. So if you have breathing issues, not a good thing, not a good thing. It also contributes to acid rain. So nothing good about this sulfur dioxide. So if you're in the area, Panay Island, Masbate, Negros Island, Bohol, Siquijor, Zamboanga, might want to wear a mask if you're sensitive. If you're sensitive to sulfur dioxide. We also had the earthquake the other day. That's why I caught that too. We had an earthquake in 4.0 earthquake in Eastern Samar, Mercedes in Eastern Samar, March 17 at 6:55 p.m. We've been getting more and more earthquakes. It started all the way to like mid last year to this year. Volcano activity, earthquake, probably related, I'm sure, activities with Mayon volcano, Canlaon volcano, all these earthquakes, they have to be related, earthquakes and these volcano activity. Because the Philippines, we are in the ring of fire, If you plan on moving here to the Philippines, volcanoes or an earthquake is part of life here in the Philippines. You're going to experience it here. People that come here never experience an earthquake in their entire life. They go, man, this is the first time I felt an earthquake or a volcano. It's like not many volcanoes. I know there's volcanoes, I think Mount St. Helens, but for most of America, there's not a lot of volcanoes that are active anyway. Derek, Oahu gets a lot of VOG from the Big Island volcano. Depends on the wind direction. Joe, they call it VOG in Hawaii. It can turn into sulfuric acid in the lungs if high. Ooh, that can't be good, right? Man, that can't be good. Sulfuric acid in the lungs, man. That can't be good, Joe. So, just a warning that because of Mount Canlaon, especially if you live in Negros Island, I'll be wearing a mask. Here in our area, I don't see it. Maybe it's invisible or something, but I haven't heard a warning from our local people here. Hey, good morning, Belus. Just stopped the hey, good. All right, and Belus in Leyte, James and Karen's Adventures, they made it safely. They made it safely to Belus's house. So videos to come, I'm sure. Videos, live streams. We're gonna see live stream videos from Belus, also from James and Karen. Michael Manalastas, good morning, Master Sergeant and everyone. Good morning, my brother in Northern California. There's mom. There's mom. She's getting ready to go somewhere. Where are you going, mom? She's gonna go chica chica with her friends here in the neighborhood. I saw this one, caught my eye again. I'm always like trying to save these so I can share. Right here, the Philippines was named Asia's best retirement destination at the 11th Tripsilla Excellence Award. It says the Philippines was recognized, highlights the country's appeal to retirees because of its welcoming communities, English-speaking population, favorable climate, and quality healthcare. So right there it says Philippines named Asia's best retirement destination. I like hearing that. I like hearing that when we get awards like that because people always talk about Thailand, people always talk about Vietnam, but like I've mentioned before, Vietnam, Thailand, they get more tourists, but Philippines, we get retirees, and that's what you want. I'm not too, tourists usually come 1 week. They tear up your place, they make a mess, they get drunk, they party, they're gone. Retirees, they stay long term, they spend their pension here, they build homes here, they buy cars here. That's what you want to attract. Tourists, I'm not too concerned about attracting tourists. Sometimes there's tourists that are terrible tourists. They're not the best tourists that you don't want to attract to your area. Sometimes I think the Philippines is bullseye of the Ring of Fire. Bullseye, the Ring of Fire. It's not as bad. I don't think it's that bad because even the earthquakes, we haven't really had like a significant earthquake where there's like a lot of destruction. Maybe the one in Cebu that hit Cebu, but we haven't had like the big earthquakes or the big eruptions of the volcano. Okay, another article that caught my eye is there's a United States deployment in Cagayan de Oro. I was like, Cagayan de Oro? I've never heard that. U.S. has troops here in the Philippines on temporary duty. There's not a military base here, American base here in the Philippines. Basically, it's Filipino bases and temporary duty for soldiers. They rotate soldiers here in the Philippines, American soldiers. So there's always American soldiers here in the Philippines. But this one caught my eye because it's a deployment. It's actually a big ship that came to Cagayan de Oro. And they're going to be participating in joint humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercises with Philippine forces. Again, that happens here a lot. Balikatan, shoulder-to-shoulder exercise with the Filipinos and Americans. Part of the Enhanced Defense Cooperative Agreement, EDCA. So, but it did caught my eye because it's like, it's in Cagayan de Oro. Usually, a lot of the activities happen in Luzon, Visayas, and even Palawan. Not many in Mindanao. Not many in Mindanao. It's like right here it says U.S. forces strengthen Philippine readiness in Mindanao. What it means for Indo-Pacific security. So I'm all for it. I'm all for these exercises. Americans and Filipinos training together, all good. It's all good. Skating Geezer, I donated negative yesterday for Vietnam. All right, Skating Geezer. I was pleased that it didn't cost me anything. It didn't cost you. You donated, man. Yeah, it didn't cost. Although the process is slow and took nearly 3. Yeah. Donating blood here can does take time. Joe Cano, tourists are like guests that overstay their welcome. I think so, Joe, right? It's like, and I see it in Boracay Island. We get good tourists now. Don't get me wrong. There's good tourists that come, but there's also like tourists that are terrible. Tourists that just like, I've done a lot of snorkeling in Boracay. Tourists that like take pieces out of coral, like the beautiful coral that you're swimming in. They're like taking pieces out of it to take home. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like fish, the longer they hang around, stink. They get special. Yeah, unfortunately, that what's happened a lot of times with some tourists. It's like they're there to they pay their 1 week vacation at the hotel and feel like they can do whatever, right? Yeah, no respect, no respect for the country. Like I said, I prefer that the Philippines attract retirees more than tourists. Retirees here stay forever or at least many years. They invest in the Philippines. They buy homes here. They build houses here, buy vehicles, buy motorbikes, spend all their retirement pension here. So to me, that's got more value than a tourist that stays here for like 1 week. Another news item here. Got all kinds of news, man. I got all kinds of news today. The Land Transportation Office. Land Transportation Office. So if you're here in the Philippines already, it used to be here in the Philippines, if you get pulled over by the Land Transportation Office, they take your license. They take your driver's license from you. That is no longer allowed here. It says, PSA, LTO can no longer confiscate your driver's license over a traffic violation. They have to issue a ticket now. Before, they would issue you a ticket and take your license. Of course, if they take your license, you can't drive. You can't drive without a license. So you're in a hurry to go to the LTO and try to fix it, right? Try to fix the ticket or try to get your license back. But now they're no longer allowed to take your driver's license. Drivers are now given 15 working days. It used to be 15 calendar days, but now they've extended it to 15 working days to settle the violation at the Land Transportation Office. So giving you more time, they're not allowed to take your license anymore, and giving you more time to settle whatever the violation, whatever happened with your traffic violation. So that's good news, because before, they take your license and you can't drive. You can't drive here. That's a big thing, man. Another big thing that's going on right now because of the Middle East is people are repatriation. There's like a repatriation flights coming in from the Middle East. A lot of OFW, the overseas Filipino workers in the Middle East, they're like, hey, come get me. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. So the Philippine government is spending money to bring them back here. There's actually, I saw that there's 2 flights, planes that they're sending there, like commercial planes that they're sending there to get the Filipinos out of there, because they don't know how long. And right here it says OFW's contract due to danger, distress, serious personal. Under the Republic Act, this is the Republic Act, a law here in the Philippines. Repatriation refers to the return of a worker to the Philippines when they face war or political unrest, unsafe or abusive working conditions, illness or mental stress, emergency situations. So that's what's happening there. The bad thing about when you get repatriated, a lot of these overseas Filipino workers, when they go to the Middle East, they sign contracts to work 2 years, 3 years, to work in Dubai, Oman, Qatar, you name it. Well, when you get repatriated, that contract is canceled. You can't be repatriated and then land here in the Philippines, and when it clears up, you go, I want back. Send me. It doesn't work like that. Once the Philippine government repatriates you back to the Philippines, you're basically out of your job. That's why I saw. There's even videos I saw on Facebook. There are some Filipinos, OFWs in the Middle East. They don't want to get repatriated, because they're supporting families here. They're putting their lives in danger because it's like they got families to support here. People are counting on their income, so a lot of them are staying because even the repatriation, it's only been like when I'm seeing the flights coming back to the Philippines, it's only like 200, 300, there's 2 million. There's 2 million OFWs in the Middle East. So, not, a lot are staying. Vaughn, Daniel, are you in Cebu now? Yes, Daniel is in Cebu City. You look like SpongeBob. Oh, it's you again. I've been my SpongeBob up there. All right, man. I'm glad you keep showing up. Thank you for joining the live stream, man. Ronnie Villanueva. Hi, guys. All right. I'm trying to get through all my articles here. This one also caught my eye here. This one, the Navy, the U.S. Navy. They have a $156 million U.S. Navy contract modification. Expands work here in the Philippines. So there's a company here, United States company from Chantilly, Virginia, got awarded another $26 million. So now all cumulative, the contract for that company out of Chantilly, Virginia, $156 million. And that's just one area here. And I've been talking about this with all the 9 different bases that these are Filipino bases now. They're not There's zero American bases here in the Philippines. The 9 Philippine bases here in the Philippines that Americans are allowed to use it, the United States is pouring in money in those bases, and these are not loans to the Philippine government. The U.S., the way U.S. works, if we're going to use your base, we're going to use your facilities, we're going to pour in money. You ain't going to put you in debt like the Chinese would do. That's something China would do to countries. It's like, we'll help you, but you're going to have to pay us back with interest. That's just how China works. U.S., more grants, more like, because it, to me, just makes sense, If you're landing B-1 bombers here in the Philippines, B-2 bombers, multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar planes, right? You want that runway pristine. You want that runway like American standard runway. You don't want it Philippine standard where it's like there's a pothole. No, just kidding. Where there's a pothole. So they are pouring in money on these bases that they're using here in the Philippines. Like I said, this company is called Amentum Services Inc., supporting Department of Defense operations here in the Philippines. So basically, they're just tasked to do whatever to improve facilities here in the Philippines. Lots of money. I've read articles before, like one Philippine base got $60 million, $80 million, just put money on those bases, because that's just how Americans are. If we're going to use the base, we want a nice runway. We want good dormitories, right, for our troops. We want good dining facility for our troops. Emilio, what's going on, Gino? Hey, man, we're getting sunshine here. Nothing but sunshine. Look at this, brother. Look at that sun, man. It's like sunny but cool. Earlier, it was 72 degrees Fahrenheit. We haven't gotten to like the over 90 degrees. Even during the day, it's sunny, breezy, mid-80s. But next week, we're supposed to start seeing the heat wave here in the Philippines starting next week. Holidays, I mentioned the holidays. Tomorrow, Friday, is a holiday here in the Philippines. Eid al-Fitr is the holiday. It's a Muslim holiday, because we got a lot of Muslims here in the Philippines, in Mindanao. And then Monday is another holiday here in Aklan. We have a holiday just for Aklan province. So 4-day weekend for people here in Aklan. And then coming up soon, first week of April is Holy Week. That's a big holiday here in the Philippines. Hardly anybody works during Holy Week. Thursday during Holy Week is called Maundy Thursday, Good Friday. That's all holidays. So it's a 4-day weekend. The 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. It's Easter Sunday being the 5th. A 4-day weekend coming up the first week of April. But for most people, they take the whole week. It's called Holy Week here. Lots of religious activities here. Even in Luzon, they still nail people to the cross. You'll see, even here, you'll see people carrying the cross on the street, whipping themselves, enacting Holy Week. Very busy time here in the Philippines, Holy Week. All right, let's see here. Vaughn, the creator of Panay Pasi name is in the country, ready to do some Panay Pasi things. All right. Daniel, the creator, the founder. Brian, good morning, brother. That company in Chantilly, Virginia is only 20. Oh, wow. Well, Brian, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I've never even heard of that, Chantilly. I've been to Virginia Beach, but I never heard of Chantilly before. That's cool, Brian. That's so cool. Amentum used to be called DynCorp. Oh, okay. That's why, man. These military contractors, I'm telling you, they are here in the Philippines. Because if you can imagine, the United States is using 9 Philippine bases. Those are the announced ones. I'm sure there's some extra ones, but the 9 bases, these are Air Force bases, Navy bases, Army bases, Marine Bear, and when you bring in American troops to those bases, they're gonna upgrade the bases. You know how Americans are, man. We're not gonna, we're spoiled. We're spoiled. We want nice things. We want nice things. Brian, 44 days and counting. 44 days in the wake up, Brian. That's awesome, brother. Here is 90 degrees. We will be seeing 90-degree temperature here, Emilio, for sure next week. Once I start reporting, because there's supposed to be a heat waves starting next week here. So I'm sure we're going to hit the 90s. We're going to hit the hundreds even. Hit the hundreds here. Time fly. It's almost mid-year and I'll be there on December. All right, then. Looking forward to seeing you again, brother. Looking forward to seeing you in December, man. Oh, yeah. Time just goes by fast, man. It's like, I'm already amazed. We're almost in April. It's like 1/4 of the year is almost over here. Okay, I do have a topic. I always try to do a topic. This one, it's kind of like a follow-up to I did that video, secret to my successful retirement here in the Philippines. One of the comments that I received, and when I was doing the video, I wasn't even thinking, when I did the video, when I was, I just go out there in the morning when I'm on a morning walk and things come to my mind. I wasn't even thinking, successful retirement. If you rewatch the video that I made, I really didn't think about money, as far as successful retirement. Because to me, if you're retiring here in the Philippines, to me, you're already successful in my eye financially, because that means you can afford it, right? It's like, so to me, that's why it never equated to me as far as like feeling a successful retirement would be to have money. Because like I said, to me, if you're retiring, you're done with work, you're coming here to the Philippines, to me, that's already success financially, because you can afford retirement here. But one of the comments, it just caught my eye because he said on his comment, because I talked about success. I wasn't talking about money. I wasn't talking about owning property, material things, because when I was talking about a successful retirement, you know, that wasn't in my mind. But of course, it helps, right? I have a pension, I have a second pension coming up here in a couple of years. So I'll have two pensions here. But I never think of money as being successful. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say, because he pointed out to me, he says here, if you want to talk about being successful, buy property, both residential and commercial, invest in stocks, and have a regular income. Capital increases in values. Stocks vary, but if you are careful and follow markets, you should be okay. I retired to the Philippines, age 51. I'm happy for him. He got to retire early. I don't know his complete situation. I don't know as far as but for me, when I retired in the Philippines when I was 45, I had stocks in the United States. I had that, it's but when I retired, I didn't want that burden anymore. For me, when I say burden with stocks, what I mean is I didn't want to be looking at the ticker symbol anymore. I didn't want to be but when I was working in the US, I had investment in stocks. Every day my TV would be on. I'm looking at how much is Apple, how much is Microsoft, how much is Google, and to me, I did not want that in my retirement, because you can say that it doesn't stress you, but for me it did. Because I'm watching it, especially if there's some kind of disaster happening, oil crisis, and you start seeing your money losing its value. You take that with you. For me anyway, that's why I made a decision when I left the United States. That wasn't going to be me. I wasn't going to be looking. I have not looked at a ticker symbol. I couldn't tell you how much Apple is now, how much Google is now since I retired, because it's not me anymore. That's not the life. When I retired, I wanted a retirement not thinking about those kind of things. I had better things to do, man. I wanted to mountain bike. I wanted to go snorkeling. I wanted to free my mind. I didn't want to be consumed with material things, even now, I did buy this house, we did buy land, but even that, I'm not doing that for myself. That's something I want to leave for Dazzle when I'm gone. I want her to have a good life once I'm gone, and I know she will. Dazzle will have I have her all set up, so she's gonna have a great life once I'm gone. Michael Taylor, I'll be in Calibo last week of April. Should I go to Boracay during the Boracay? Oh yeah, man. If you're here during they call it now. It used to be La Boracay. It used to be more like a spring break, but now it's called Love Boracay. It's more environmental friendly. You can't party and drink so much. There a little bit. There's usually a concert. They rope the area. They watch. It's not like before, the whole beach people are drinking and partying. None of that. But you should. It's not just the dragon boat races. They'll have ultimate frisbee competition, beach volleyball. It's a fun time. It's like April 25th to the first week of May. Fun time to be in Boracay. A lot of people though, it's gonna be super crowded during that time if you go. Super crowded, man. It's insane amount of people during Love Boracay. If you don't like big crowds, it's gonna be big crowd because there's people all over the world come for the dragon boat races, the ultimate frisbee competition, the beach volleyball. Comes everybody from not just the Philippines, but Southeast Asia, Europe. They come here for that week, and it's summer. It's summertime. Even Filipinos. That's summer vacation. Kids are out of school. April and May, there's no school here in the Philippines. So that's Boracay is going to be packed those 2 months. Be patient. Be patient. Going through the jetty port in Katiklan is total chaos. Bring a lot of patience. Bring a lot of patience. It will stress you if you don't. There's lines out the door. It's hot in there. AC never works in that terminal. I don't know what they use their terminal fee in there, but it's normally not the AC, not the AC. But just bring a lot of patience. Even the boats, the ferries going into Boracay, they're packed. It's hot, super hot in those ferries. Even if they open the windows with that many people, it just gets hot on those. You're gonna be sweating. You're gonna be sweating. You're not even in Boracay. Maybe go the speedboat route. Pay the extra money, man. Pay the extra money. There's a speedboat service that takes you from mainland to Boracay. Will cost you about 4,000 pesos, but maybe worth it because you bypass the jetty and it's a speedboat or your own speedboat, going to Boracay. Because the terminal and the ferry on the boat ferry, man, it's gonna stress you out, man. Me, it's like I'm just used to it. That's why when we go, it doesn't stress me. Lowell, kumusta from Oregon? Kumusta kapatid? Kumusta? God bless. God bless my brother Lowell. Just got out of my cardiologist. All good. Go back. Oh, great news, man. Great news, man. I'm the same way, man. Next month is my checkup with my oncologist. I have to get an MRI done in Iloilo City. I know the feeling. Lowell. When I go to those MRIs and my oncology doctor, it's like I just want to get the all clear. I just want to get the all clear. Another 6 months of all clear. I know the feeling. Happy to hear that, Lowell. When Defense Logistic DLA shows up in the Philippines, things are happening. Was there an ammo manufacturer getting built? Yes, the ammunition manufacturing facility, they are building it at Subic. The old U.S. Navy base in Subic in Olongapo City, that is where they are building it. Oh, the Philippines is getting armed, man. The Philippines is getting armed. It's not just U.S. arming the Philippines, cruise missiles, United States bringing cruise missiles. Philippines is buying BrahMos missiles, ship killers, putting it in in the northern Luzon. The Philippines is arming. We're getting, our Navy is getting built fast. Japan, Korea, they're donating ships to the Philippines. Like I said, man, for a Filipino, if I was a young 18, 19-year-old Filipino here in the Philippines, man, I'll be joining the Philippine Navy, man. It's a good time to join the military here, man. Marines, Army, Navy, man. It's even Air Force because they're buying F-16s here in the Philippines. We are arming because the China threat is real. It's like I'm glad that the Philippines is smarting up and building up its military here. Good morning, Gino, and all sports fans. The Colonel, my brother. Hello, Colonel. Lucita, my sister in Maine. Hello, Lucita. Good morning, Colonel. Skating Geezer. Stocks are volatile now. I sold a third of my stuff 10 days into the war. Yeah, see, that's the thing with me, Skating Geezer. I didn't want that. I did enough stocks, when I was in the U.S., I did E-Trade, I did all that, it's like, I just didn't want that during my retirement. My investments are super safe, certificate of deposit. I know they don't earn much, but hey, I don't have to worry about them. I don't have to see a big drop in my investments or anything. And for me, that's why when I did the video, I wasn't really, when I talked about successful retirement, I wasn't thinking about money as being one of it, because over time I've met many people here in the Philippines, many people that retired, many people that I talked to. It's really not the money that you would have a nicer home. Yeah, you would have a nicer vehicle, but it's not going to automatically make you happy. To me, it's the the people that you'll put in your life when you come here. Like I said, the right Filipina, man. You can be a multi-millionaire coming from the United States and land in the Philippines. You meet a wrong Filipina, gonna be trouble for you. Gonna be absolute misery. I've seen people, I'm sure you've seen it too on YouTube, foreigners that come from Europe opening restaurants here in the Philippines, got money. Next thing you know, they're homeless because like they met the wrong Filipina. It's like so important. That's to me, that's one of the key. One of the key to your successful retirement here. You gotta meet that right Filipina. The Filipina that's not materialistic, the Filipina that's traditional, respect you as a man, that's gonna treat you well, that's gonna be honest, loyal to you. You meet a Filipina like that, man. It's like it's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. But you meet the wrong Filipina here, like I said many times, man, it's absolute misery here, man. You're gonna turn homeless here. Think about it. When I say you're gonna turn homeless here, if you meet the wrong Filipina, you can't own land here, right? And I've seen it happen now. There was even one that was vlogger. I don't want to mention any names, but he built like a house, a nice house, everything in the Filipinas land. Well, if something don't work out and that Filipina kicks you out, you're homeless. You're homeless. It don't matter how much money you spend in that house. It is not your house because it sits in your Filipinas land. So if that happens, and it happens here in the Philippines, unfortunately, there's some that get into that bind where they meet the wrong Filipina, and then once they kick you out, it's not like you can force your way back into the house that you built. The house that you built because the barangay will take you out. The Dow was above 5,000. We dropped to 46 already, and I think it will continue to fall. Yeah, see, to me, I just didn't want that escape. So, like me, like right now, I'm not looking at the ticker. I'm not looking at how much stocks are because it's not affecting me. Even gas prices, I'm not really worried about gas prices because I have my tricycle, I have my motorbike. It's like I don't, I'm paying more for gas, but it's not a big deal. It's like I know we'll just travel less in our car just to save money. Good A Fortune, my brother in Bacoor, in Cavite. Good AM, Ray, Joe, J Boy, Derek, and GP. Good AM, Joel, OB, Daniel. Man, we got a lot of people. We got a lot of people here, right, Fortune? Good AM, Vaughn, Emilio, Brian. In Bacoor, Cavite, 91. Woo, wow. Here, the highest I've seen in Calibo so far is 85 pesos per liter. Like I said, about $6 a gallon is the highest I've seen here. So 91 in Cavite, even 6 pesos higher. Had to change their LED for pricing to allow for their... Oh, that's right. It only goes up to 99. It's never had 100. So they're going to have to figure it out. I know diesel. I know a liter, not even a gallon of diesel. A liter of diesel's over 100 now. I saw like 114 for a diesel. And unfortunately, the jeepney drivers here and the buses, they all use diesel, unfortunately. So I think the president of the Philippines put a halt on increased prices on jeepneys and all that, but I don't know how long that halt's going to be. They did subsidize the jeepney drivers here, the fishermen here. They did a one-time payment for them. I don't know how much, if that's going to be a monthly thing. So the government is trying. The government is trying to help the people here. Holiday tomorrow, end of Ramadan. Yes, staying home to save gas. Hey, you and me, Fortune. I'm staying home, man. It's like, this summer is going to be summer near the beach. We're 10 minutes from the beach. More activities like that. Go to the park. Maybe a trip to Boracay still, maybe. We'll see, because I know it's going to be super crowded in Boracay in April and May. Very good exit. Very good news, Lowell, on your health. I know. Great news on the cardiologist visit for Lowell. Should be good races. Good be races. Like it. Oh, thank you, Fortune. Hello, Fortune and the Colonel. All right, all right. And that's why when I was talking about secret, the key to my success here in the Philippines, I wasn't really thinking about money, because for me, the plain fact that you're able to leave your country, whatever country you come from, you're able to come here to the Philippines and retire here. That is already a success, because retirement is no longer given. Many Americans in the United States have to work past Social Security age, in their 70s, sometimes in their 80s. So I know that's no longer given. That's why here, even if you're coming here to the Philippines on Social Security alone, that's average Social Security right now is 1,700, right? $1,700. You can live well on that here in the Philippines if you choose wisely, if you're smart about it. You can't live in BGC with that money. You can't live in the big cities. But if you come to like a province like Aklan Province, Antique Province, Capiz Province, Iloilo Province, the province area, $1,700. That's a good pension here. You can live on that well here, because your rent, usually, if you're not too picky, if people here sometimes, I don't get some of the foreigners that come here. They live in the US, they live in Canada, wherever. They're paying $1,800, $2,000 a month on rent, right? On a one bedroom. And they come to the Philippines, and when they see an apartment, think about it, they're paying $2,000 in the US, all right? They come here and they can find an apartment that's 200. That's 200, 10x lower than they were paying. And they're going, ooh, that's too much. I never get that. How that happens, then you're coming for the place you left, you're paying 2,000. Now you're only going to pay 200 or 300. And you're thinking, hey, that's too much. To me, that's kind of funny how that works here. But you can find in the province, like even here in Calibo, you can find nice apartments here for 200. Depends on what you're looking for. Like people are all different. We all have different lifestyles. Understand that. So that's why when people always ask me how much is an apartment in the Philippines, in your area, in Calibo, here in the community, I can't tell you, because the range, even in the United States, it's the same, right? Like you can find, if I go right now to, let's say, Tucson, Arizona, there's going to be parts in Tucson, Arizona where I don't know the prices now, but back in my time, you can get an apartment from like 700 to 800, a one bedroom, or you can go all the way to like 1,200 to 1,500 on the one bedroom. Because it depends on the quality of the apartment, depends on the quality of the housing. Same thing here in the Philippines. Condos, if you look at condos in Iloilo City, a one bedroom condo, usually about $400, about 25,000 pesos for a furnished condo. In the nice ones, the Palladium, the Madison, right beside Festive Mall, they're about that price. But you can also find older condominiums, like more to like the downtown area of Iloilo City, that's around 15 or even less, 15,000 pesos or less than 300. So it really depends on the individual's lifestyle. Some people can live like a Filipino when they come here. Some people, when they come here, they start eating Filipino food. They start eating carinderia. Ruben's a perfect example. Ruben eats at Pares Retiro. He eats at carinderia. His apartment is 8,000 pesos a month for a studio apartment in Calibo. $160, And he came from San Diego. So for him, San Diego, California, now he's paying $160 rent, man. I don't think you can find $160 rent in San Diego, California. That's why I'm saying, you just have to research it. You have to work, you have to put yourself in a good situation. That way you can have a good retirement here. But it can be done. It can be done even on the minimum Social Security. Like I said, average Social Security about 1,700. Man, I know in the U.S., if that's all the money that you have, is 1,700 a month, Social Security, you are going to struggle in the United States with that money. You're going to have to probably live in your car, live in a van or something in order to survive on a 1,700. Here in the Philippines, you can find a good life here. You can have a successful retirement here with that money. OB, hello Fortune Colonel. Good morning Brian, Fortune, OB, Emilio. Don't buy stocks if you don't know what you're doing. 401k is safer. Yeah, and even 401k, I know my cousins in the United States, they're like they start posting on their Facebook once their 401k value starts dropping. So to me that's why I didn't want to go through that. Once I retired here in the Philippines, I focused more on just saving. I live frugal. I save my money. I've invested this house. Land, I bought land here, but that's about it. I don't want risk. The only reason I bought anything here is so I can leave it with Dazzle. That's why that way she'll have something when I'm gone someday. My sister-in-law and family will be here on the 27th from LA. We are going to San Juan, Batangas. Oh, nice, San Juan, Batangas, and beach. Go to the beach. Colonel, old place. For 3 days, 2 nights. That's 150 each way. So to 300. I spoke to Chi, and since I will just use the Civic. Yeah, right, right. I remember, Fortune, one of my good friends here. He at one time he had a Fortuner. He had a Toyota. He gave that up for like a small compact car. Even before this crisis, because he just said, man, I'm spending too much on gasoline, and it was just basically him and his wife, and they have a son, and his son's like already an adult, so he decided to get a smaller car. I know, right? Save you money. I can save around, yep. Will bring their SUVs. Why San Juan, Fortune, or going to Leia Beach? I'm waiting on Eden. All right, getting cavity 6. All right, JP. Fortune, we celebrate first death of mother-in-law on the 28th. April 1. I will have enjoy time. Understand. First time in years, sister-in-law went home not worrying, just enjoy. Previous, she had to go home because health issues. Yeah, that's tough, right? That's tough, Fortune, when people in the United States, the only reason they come here if there's have relatives here that got ill, things like that. At least, you're coming here on vacation. That's always a good thing. That's a lot better. More fun for everybody, for sure. Peanut butter travels. Hello, peanut butter travels. JP, all right. 60 point US. I know. It's just a matter of time. Like I said earlier, JP, the dollar to peso exchange is like hitting all-time highs here right now in the Philippines. Broke the 60 barrier. She's the only one in the States among Chi's family. She got successful petition 2010. She's a lawyer, passed California bar, Partner LA firm specializing immigration law. Oh, that's big time. That's big time in LA, man. Immigration law. I know a lot about lawyers because my last job, the last job I worked was St. Mary's. I worked in risk management. My boss was actually an attorney, so I understand. Like the law and lawyers, man. They make a ton of money. They make a ton of money, and the purpose. Hi, Kuya. San Jose. All right, Rain. Is that Ram? San Jose, California. All right, all right. Thank you for joining the channel. Good AM, PBT. Good AM, PBT from Fortune. And regarding that topic, like the key to a successful retirement here, like I said, high on the list is meeting the right Filipina. And then, to me, what made it work for me, even I only receive a military pension, what really made it work for me here in the Philippines is once you retire here, whatever income you bring, it doesn't matter if it's Social Security alone, that's your only pension, if it's $1,700, you just gotta live below your means. If it's 1,700, if I was in that situation, I would try to get my expenses with rent, everything else. I would try to get it right around 1,200. That way, I'm banking $500 a month of my Social Security. If I was in that situation, that's what I would do, because you can do it. You can do it here. JP knows this because JP's here a few months now. He sees it now, because I know it's hard to visualize it. You can do Excel spreadsheets. You can do all calculations of how much you're going to spend here in the Philippines. But until you get here, you really won't know until you get boots on the ground. But the one thing at least you can get a fixed price on is usually the housing. That's why I tell people all the time, when you first land to the Philippines, just rent. Your first year in the Philippines, just rent. Don't be in a hurry to buy a house. Don't be in a hurry to build a home for your girlfriend, for your wife, because it's not going to be on your name anyway, right? The house that you're building, that you should put that in your mind. Like, if you're going to buy a house like me, when I bought this house, I had to put a down payment, 20%, and then had a 15-year mortgage. But for me, I've never viewed this house as going to be mine. I viewed this house as something I would leave to Dazzle. We only have about 4 years left on the mortgage. So after it's paid off in another 4 years, this house is free and clear under Dazzle's name and my name, but basically hers. That way she'll have a property. She'll have a house for the rest of her life. Same thing with the land we bought in Katiglan. That's strictly on Dazzle's name, because to me, I'm done my thing, man. I'm gonna be 60 this year. I'll be blessed and happy if I get another 10 years. I'll be happy because for me, it's already been a blessing that I was able to retire early. I've gotten almost 15 years of retirement now, and if you ask anybody, right, that's going to Social Security, they're still working right now. They're getting Social Security. If you tell them that you're going to get 15 years of retirement, they're going to be happy, right? You're going to be happy. If you're like 65, 67, and somebody told you, are you going to get about 15 years of good retirement where you're still healthy and can do things, you'll be blessed. You're going to feel blessed if you get 15 good years. And I've had that. That's why to me, every single day now is just a blessing. Every single day now is I'm just grateful. I'm almost, it's almost like icing on the cake now. It's like every time I can watch the sunrise, my afternoon walks with Dazzle at sunset, I'm just grateful now, because I've had 15 years of good retirement. The best years of my life has been the past 15 years. Vaughn, when a person is employed or running their business, they are in accumulation stage. When retired, The task changes from acquiring assets to reducing expenses. Yeah, I get your point. I get your point. To me, if you're retired and you're still trying to accumulate assets, are you really retired? Are you really, because you're looking at ticker symbols. You're looking at your invest. I'm not ragging on people that invest. It's like, hey, more power. We all live different lives, but are you completely clear of like financial responsibility? Is all I'm saying. It's like. To me, it's not the amount of money that you have. To me, it's the freedom from trying to get more money or trying to keep that money that you have. For me, I've never had a problem because, like I said, I've always lived below my means. Every single month that I've been here for the past 15 years, I'm saving a portion of my pension. And if you could do that, man, you're golden. You're golden because to me, that should be the goal. I realized that pretty quick too in 2011. After been living here 3 months, I was just surprised of like, dang, this is all I'm going to spend here. I can save this much. JP had that realization after being here a few short months here because I was talking to JP. It was the same thing. He realized that, dang, this is all I need to retire here. I'm set. If I can just stay like this, if I can just live within my means, below my means here, man, you're all set here. You won't have a problem. The problem with people here is they get here, they blow their money. They go to like Angeles City, hit the bars, drink too much, go out with several girls, party. Nothing wrong with that if that's how you want to live with your live your life here. But usually things go sideways when you're overspending here and giving your money away. When one lives in paradise, you cannot live in fear. All right, man, that's deep, man. That's deep, Bon. You got some deep thoughts, brother. Rafi Tulfo loves us screwing up. Rafi Tulfo. I'm not, I really don't pay attention to politics here. I've heard Rafi Tulfo. It's kind of like people complain to him, and all that, but I'm not into that, Sal. So I wouldn't know. I don't watch Philippine news that much. It's like. What Filipinos do here doesn't really affect my retirement here. Fortune, U.S. Fed held rates yesterday instead of cutting. In word of inflation going up. Phil McLeod, the Iran war is costing the U.S. over $1 billion a day. Yeah, any war. I mean, any war that the U.S. has been in, it will cost billions of dollars a day. I mean, we went through that in Iraq. We went through that in Afghanistan. So that's expected. All right. And the other thing that's the key to my successful retirement is staying healthy. That's why I walk every morning. I walk at sunset. I can't run anymore, not like I used to. I used to be a big time runner. I was a cyclist at one time, but now I'm fine. I'm good with walking. I just walk a lot. I walk about an hour in the morning and then an hour in the sunset time. I do push-ups, sit-ups. I stay healthy. I eat healthy. I do my best to. I gave up fried foods. I don't drink alcohol. I've never smoked. So now my focus is just remaining healthy. And the key to me, it added, it's almost kind of like a bonus for me in retirement, is I found a purpose. This one was unexpected. It's like, for me, I thought when I retired here in the Philippines 15 years ago, man, honestly, I thought I was just going to be a beach bum, and I was. My first 18 months here in the Philippines, I was single. I was single at the time. I was in Boracay Island, man. I was living on White Beach, Boracay. My studio apartment, 10,000 pesos at the time, $170 at the time. Right on Front Beach, out my door. When I open my door, I can look at the water, man. I can look at Front Beach, White Beach, Boracay. So to me, I thought that was going to be my life here in the Philippines. For 18 months, it was. I just enjoyed it because for me, it helped me decompress. You know, all the stuff that went on in my life in the U.S. All the stress of work, stress of life in the U.S. Finally, for the first time in my life, I felt freedom. You know, freedom from. There were many days where I would just wake up in the morning in Boracay, put on my running shoes, and I would run on White Beach. I wouldn't even keep track of how much I ran. I just ran. I would run for an hour, sometimes 2 hours on Front Beach. What Front Beach is like 4.5 kilometers from end to end. I would just run. I would go towards the Diniwid, come back, go towards Angwell, and then end up in front of my apartment in White Beach, and then afterwards take off my shoes, swim in the ocean. That was like my routine, and it was some of the best times of my life because for one, I did not have the responsibility anymore. I felt total freedom from everything, and it put me in a good place. You know, my year and a half, those 18 months in Boracay, I wasn't dating. You know, dating was not a concern of mine. I was just trying to clear my mind, be in a good space. And I think that's what a lot of people, I would recommend that. I would recommend that to people when they first come to the Philippines. Don't be such in a hurry to meet that Filipina. You know, it's like evaluate yourself first. Make sure, know yourself. You know, if you've had issues in the United States, if you've had anger issues, if you've had relationship issues with women, you know, things like that, you got to resolve that. You can't blame that all on another person. Look at yourself. Go inward and check yourself. You know, find a good space for yourself first before you start even dating Filipinas. Because if you were having bad relationships in the U.S., maybe it's half you. You know, I know a lot of times people blame the partner, the ex, but maybe it's part you. You know, self-evaluation I think is important. Find out why were you in a bad relationship? Why did you get? How did you get there? You know, it's like to me, you know, like I said, those 18 months in the Boracay Island, it just helped me. It helped me find myself, and then finally, when I went to STI College Calibo, I decided to go back to school. Self-improvement. I had my GI Bill, so I didn't want to waste my GI Bill. My military benefit, education benefit was going to expire, and I could never use it again. And to me, that would be not, you know, that would be basically giving up almost $50,000 that I could use, you know, and I did. I attended school. The 9 months I attended school, my housing allowance, I was getting $1,500 housing allowance. Now, if you attend school here in the Philippines on the GI Bill, you'll get over $2,000 a month. Imagine getting $2,000 a month to go to school here. That's your housing allowance. And you know, I don't know anybody here in Calibo that pays $2,000 on housing. Usually, you will pocket a lot of that, and I did. I pocketed a lot of the money from my GI Bill. But it put me in a good space after the 18 months. Then I went to school. I was having a blast in college. The 4 years in college for me here was fun, because I never got to go to college. When I joined the military when I was 17 years old, I took college courses like in the evening time, like 1 or 2 classes back in the 80s. Victor Valley College was one of it in California. Clark, I even took evening class, weekend class, but it's not the same. I got to experience for the first time like the college experience, you know, having a full week of college classes, full time, going to college full time at STI College Calibo. Great experience, great. And because, you know, I had decompressed, I had removed all the stresses in my life, I was in a good space. I was in a good space when I went to school. Man, school here was fun, man. We had acquaintance parties, we had projects with classmates, it was just a lot of fun, you know, professor liked me. I like, it was a great time going to college for 4 years. And then finally, that's where I met Dazzle. I met my wife while I was attending college because I was in a good space. I was not, I wasn't trying to like heal myself from, a lot of times I think people make the mistake. They think the Philippines will cure all their problems that they had in the US. Like I said, anger issues, relationship issues. They think, well, I'm in the Philippines. I got white sand beaches. I got the weather. I should be good. It takes some self-reflection. You need to like check yourself and see where you are in your life. What mistakes you've done in your life. We've all made mistakes. I know I made mistakes. That's why I had failed relationships in the United States, because a part of it was my mistakes. And that's why you got to do that self-reflection. That way, when you come here, make sure you leave that behind. You're getting a fresh start in the Philippines when you come here. Blank slate. Nobody knows you here. You can be anybody that you want when you come to the Philippines. Starting fresh, things that went wrong, you should learn from that and then begin with a blank slate here. Take your time meeting that right Filipina, because man, when you meet the right Filipina here, man, it's a wonderful life. Most of my friends that have found their missus or the wife here, James, you've seen how James and Karen are. Belus, you've seen Belus with his wife. Man, it's a wonderful life here when you meet that special Filipina here. One, the U.S. Fed's got that dual mandate. Too much inflation, I guess. Flyboy, hey Flyboy, exchange rate. I did mention it, the exchange rate earlier already, but let me just like hit the button here. Hit the, what's that, refresh button here and see it. It is, right now, I just refreshed it, 59.62. It's been hitting all-time highs. I think at one point it did hit 60, but it came down, but it's going to go past 60. It's going to go past 60 here. It's already hit it, so just a matter of time till it'll close above 60. All-time high, all-time high. Hi, Gino, sir. I tell people, you turn off the news and social media for a month and you'll realize it's not as bad. Oh, I know, even me, I can't turn off my social media because that's how I communicate with a lot of y'all. I communicate. A lot of you are friends of mine on Facebook. We communicate on Messenger and WhatsApp, but I don't let it bother me. It's like, to me, I guess maybe because I've been retired 15 years, I really don't do anything to ruin my peace of mind here, my retirement here. I can look at the news in the US. I can look at the news here in the Philippines, and it doesn't bother me because the bottom line for me, whatever I'm watching, it's not affecting my day-to-day life. It's like I get my military pension every month. I budget it. My focus is a lot of times what Daz and I will be doing, or what are we cooking for lunch, or what are we going out tonight for dinner? Those are my focus, or meeting up with my friends, or going fishing. Those are my focus. The noise that's happening, I don't know what happened to the news, because the news now is like so angry. I'm not siding with any side, but the news, even like when you watch CNN, MSNBC, Fox, they're just so angry at each other. So to me, I don't even. I'll watch it just to keep up, but I don't take sides. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't affect me. Like right now, even the talk of the Fed. If the Fed, it doesn't affect me. It's like, why would I know what interest rates are, the Fed, it affects stock prices, all that. But again, I don't invest in stocks anymore, So to me, the Fed raising interest rate, lowering interest rate, it doesn't matter to me. Even the gas prices here, the gas prices are going up because of the Middle East. hey, I'll just have to ride my motorcycle and my tricycle more. We might have to cut down on vacation, driving our car, trips to Iloilo City, things like that. I'm gonna just have to cut that this year. I can adapt. I can adapt. Not a big thing to me. Right on. They want us to live in fear. Fear is the great motivator. Yeah. It's been a long time since I lived in fear, Vaughn. It's been a long time. It's been just happiness for me here in the Philippines. I'm just grateful each day that I've been here. That's why I'm so blessed. You know, when just a plain fact that I can say that I've been retired for 15 years, that I didn't have to earn a paycheck anymore, didn't have to work for the last 15 years. To me, that's a blessing because like I said, for most people, once you retire completely, a lot of times 67, right? 67 is the full Social Security age. You reach 67. If I tell you that you retire at 67 and you're gonna get 15 good years of good health, where you're still functional till 82, you're gonna say, right on. You're gonna be like, right on. Thank you very much. Because unfortunately, like I've said, you know, that check engine light, unfortunately, usually it comes on in our 50s, you know, for sure by 60. Like I know I'll hit 60 this year. Man, unfortunately, that check engine light is gonna come on, man. You might not think it will, but trust me, it will. You know, I was a runner all my life, a swimmer, a cyclist. I rode 100-mile bicycle races in Tucson. El Tour de Tucson. I did a couple of those in Tucson. I was fit all my life. Never had medical issues at all. Never been in a hospital. Never had surgery. All of a sudden, 56 years old, you know, that check engine light came on for me. I got diagnosed with cancer. So you can't plan that. You know, you can't plan that. You know, so to me, like I said, the earliest you can retire, that you can afford to retire financially, you got to do it. You got to do it. You know, if you can afford to retire financially, retire. There's no reason for you to keep working and just to chase that money. Money is not going to make you happy. You know, it's like if you wait too long, all the retirees I talk to here, most of them, they'll tell me, dang, I should have done this a long time ago. I could have done this 5 years. I could have done this 10 years ago. You can't get that time back, you know. And then that one diagnosis, that one call from your doctor telling, or you'll just feel it one day. You're like, oh, everything's good. Then that check engine light comes on, and all of a sudden you can't do the things that you used to be able to do, man. You can't get time back, you know, time. And it's like you know, you wait too long, you might regret it. If you wait too long and not retire. If you're so focused on money, you're so focused on like accumulating money, you know, I think that's going to hurt you retirement wise, enjoying your retirement years. Yes, Phil, but that's war. I just hope that Trump has a solution to Hormuz thing. Prolonged war will mean higher oil prices and food prices. People who don't care about the war will feel the effects. We all gonna feel the effects, right? I'll feel the effects with the gasoline prices, higher costs of. You just have to adjust. You know, maybe this year's vacation might just be postponed. You know, things like that. But it's not gonna. I'm still gonna enjoy my life. You know, it's not gonna affect my day to day. I'm still gonna do my morning walk. Dazzle and I, Leanne and Mom, we're still gonna go eat at Shakey's. You know, we're still gonna hit the beach when we can. We're not gonna let that ruin us. Ruben and JP did great. Chick magnets, chick magnets. Fortune. And we'll start to blame the war for many things. Official closed yesterday, 59.80. Wow, really close. We're really close to the official close to 60, Fortune. On behalf of America, I apologize for the inconvenience this war may have caused you and your family. I am hoping that a resolution will be forthcoming and get it together. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. Tragically, the bid policy here in the U.S. affects the whole world compared to there in the Philippines, only local or maybe regional. Yeah, like I said, Vaughn, here in the province, it will affect people here, but not as heavy as like the people living in the cities. Because, a lot of people here are farmers, a lot of people are fishermen. People here just have they work hard, don't get me wrong. The farmers here, they work till at the crack of dawn, till like evening time. They work all day out in the fields, but they're not watching the news. They're, if they might have a radio, most of them don't have TVs or cell phones. They're paying attention to their crop. They're paying attention to the rice field, to the vegetables that they plant, to the harvest. That's what they're focused on here in the province. Yep, that's how it is, Vaughn. We just roll, but hoping war ends soon and flow of oil resumes, so oil prices go down. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to affect here in the Philippines with higher oil prices, higher airline fees. I think we're going to see less people doing more stuff this summer, traveling. It's like it will discourage people from domestic travel for sure. Stay strong, Fortune. The purpose. No news is good news. No news is good news. Yeah. Unfortunately, right? Most of the news we get is always negative. It's almost we hardly like get news that is happy. The media always focus on the negative. Everything's like doom and gloom with the media a lot of times. That's why, man, I can't imagine living in the United States and still working. What kind of stress people are going through, just because that's what the media, the stress that they're putting on people, man. Derek, when going to Philippines, bring crisp $100 bills, no marks, do not fold, and use a money belt. And great recommendation there. Great recommendation, Derek. Those crisp $100 bills, not a cut on them, not a fold on them. Sometimes they staple the money, those holes. They won't want those $100 bills. It's got to be almost pristine money. That's why, for me, probably easier to just send yourself money just instead of bringing money with you, right? Instead of because you got Remitly, you got many money money transfer. Just send yourself money when you arriving here. That way you're not carrying dollars. You're not having to carry that belt, worried about somebody ripping you off. Even when you have to exchange it, you got to be careful where you exchange here in the Philippines, like the money exchange places. You want it well lit during the daytime. During the daytime, you don't want to be like, if you're exchanging $2,000, $3,000, and you got a stack of 1,000 peso bill afterwards, right? You want to limit the time you're carrying that kind of cash, especially nowadays. With all the high prices, with all the people, OFWs coming back here. Unfortunately, with that, there's going to be less income for people. Some people are going to look into crime. Would not surprise me, especially in the cities, if crime rate starts going up, because harder times, when people are having harder times, that's when crime usually goes up. Anywhere you go, people get desperate. Thanks, Vaughn. I'm okay. Just worried for most of our kababayans who barely, I know, right? It's people barely serve. I can imagine, I know my classmates, Fortune, that are in Manila, in Cebu City. They're dreading all this because they're barely getting by. I have classmates that live in Manila. It takes them 2 hours a day to go to work. A lot of the work in Manila is in Makati, where Fortune works. unfortunately, most people can't afford rent in Makati. Usually, you have to live in like Novaliches or Mekawayan, Bulacan, or in sa Laguna. It takes you 2 hours public transportation just to go to work, one way, and then on the way home. So 4 hours a day on public transportation just to get to work. And with public transportation, they're barely getting by if the prices go up. The jeepney, the tricycle, the bus, there goes their income. They're not gonna get raised. That's why if food prices go up, because that's the next thing that will go up with all prices. That's why Fortune, he knows because I'm sure Fortune's got employees. Fortune got employees that he knows will struggle. Fortune, good advice, Derek. Banks and some money exchange companies won't exchange. Good if you can find money exchange company willing to accept. Yeah, that's why to me, just send yourself money or use your ATM when you get to the Philippines. I know you'll get hammered on the exchange rate, but carrying a lot of dollars, I know JP carried some when he came here. I would not carry too much, maybe $2,000, maybe $3,000, anything $5,000 and above. Man, you're just asking for trouble here, carrying that kind of cash around with you. Something could happen. You might that belt. We're getting up in our age. You might be washing your hands or something, and you leave it for a second, or something can happen if you're carrying that kind of cash. Just send, to me, why not just send yourself money? Go to like the money transfer places here and pick up the cash at $500 at a time, or 25,000 pesos at a time, or ATM. Use your ATM. You can withdraw from the ATM here with your US ATM account. Father Time is undefeated. That's right, Derek, right? Father Time is undefeated, man. Most people think that they got more time or healthy. Most people think they have more healthy time, but unfortunately, Father Time, man, like I said, that check engine light comes on. Nothing you do about it. Next thing you know, you're spending more time at the hospital, them running tests on you. You're getting MRIs. You're getting all kinds of tests done on you at the hospital, and then they're trying to figure out what's wrong with you. Guest, good morning, Michael S. I saw your walk yesterday, but you had too many comments. I did say hello, brother, but you had too many comments, and I don't expect you to answer because I know how hard that is. You're walking, you're trying to watch your way, and your comments are flying by. So I know that always nice to watch your walks in Dumaguete City. Castaway Drip, he always around noontime Philippines time. He always. Every other day he'll do a live stream walking in Dumaguete City. A lot of interest in that because Dumaguete City, like I said, if I had to pick a city in the Philippines to retire, number one would be Iloilo City. My number two probably would be Dumaguete City, though, because they're just both good cities here. Good people in the city. You're not gonna find better people than people living in those two cities. Like in Dumaguete City, it's what is that? The land of gentle people, gentle people. And then Iloilo City is the city of love. The city of love. Southern Cal Benny. Hi, Gino. Even if the war ended today, the price of oil will not go down, as the tension that never existed 3 weeks ago will be. Yeah, I predict that. Even if when the war ends, and wars end, right? Eventually it will end. The prices won't drop immediately. I know here in the Philippines, the way it works here, the prices go up here fast, but the companies, they'll take advantage of that high price. It will take them like, it happened during COVID. During COVID, the price of gasoline was the same. It skyrocketed here. The highest again was in the 80 per liter, 85 per liter here in Calibo. It took a long time before it got back to like 60 again. I mean, we didn't have masks anymore. We didn't have COVID, and the prices was still high. So I'm sure it's the same dynamic that's going to happen. I look forward to the Dazzle karaoke night. Okay, yeah, I'll have to mention that to them. They haven't been doing the karaoke nights lately. I guess they're not drinking. That's a good thing. They're not drinking alcohol. They're not drinking alcohol. But I'll tell them. I'll tell them. Maybe it's time for their karaoke night. Seeing Mama collecting all the money, collecting all the money, and paying Leanna to sing. All right, Jason. Just because you mentioned it, I will ask Dazzle and Mama Leanna. When are they gonna do a karaoke night? Derek, use the ATM. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can use your American ATMs here in the Philippines. You can get pesos here. You can't get dollars. You can't like pull out dollars, but they will automatically exchange it to pesos. You don't have to carry those because you're carrying the $100 bills and they scrutinize here. And now there's like this big thing in the Philippines now about fake $100 bills here. There's like over $20 million got confiscated. Fake $100 bills here. So to me, it's too much hassle, man. I wouldn't even hassle carrying that. I mean, it's okay to carry maybe $2,000, like I said, $3,000, $100 bills, but anything more than that, I wouldn't be carrying that much money. I always exchange money at the bank. 10 minutes in and out. Yeah, that's another choice. If you've got a dollar account here in the Philippines, I do. I got a dollar account with Banco de Oro, also with PNB. They'll exchange it there a little lower, but hey, you're in and out. You get your pesos. PNC, Wise, Gcash. I know, right? That's Michael saying. There's many ways you can get your money here. Than just bringing $100 bills. Good day, Mike. The Duke of Duma. Good morning, my friend, Master Fortune. Wise is great. Yeah, many people use Wise. I know with Wise, you can even load your Gcash online wallet direct from Wise. I know many people do that here. I know, man. It's like another beautiful morning here. Sunny day. Blue skies. He said we'll change his time to 11 a.m. for. Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. Thank you. I knew in my head it was always 12 noon. It's like when I start looking at my phone, but now 11. Oh, because of the time change. I'm looking forward to us meeting, Gino. Maybe, for sure, man. I would love that smash burger that I showed on your short. I saw that, man. I love burgers, man. I'm a big Burger King fan. Here in Calibo, we do have a burger here. 8 Ball Tavern's got a nice all Australian beef burger. But I would love that smash burger. One of these days, man, I'll surprise you and head there to Dumaguete City. I only spend 4 weeks a year in the Philippines. Yeah, that's good. That's a good amount of time, right? If 4 weeks is a good vacation. 2 weeks, 3 is short, but four is about a nice amount of time on vacation. USA Bank to Wise, then to Gcash. Minimal fees and very convenient. Yeah, my friend, Fred, that's how he does it. Michael. He lives in Iloilo City. You can get Gcash card and make cash withdrawals from ATM if need. You have cash. Yeah. Gcash is just so awesome, man. I think it's amazing actually here in the Philippines. I did not know this until I saw a video or something where before Gcash, many Filipinos here in the Philippines never even had a bank account. That's hard to believe, right? Bank account, in the US, everybody's got a bank account. But here in the Philippines, because some of the requirements here, there's banks that have like a minimum requirement. Some banks like 10,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos, ID cards. Not every Filipino's got like a national ID. So many Filipinos for the longest time, very low amount of people have actual bank accounts here. That's why you can't go anywhere here in the Philippines where there's not a Palawan. Palawan is like where people send money to each other. A lot of transactions happen through Palawan. But now with GCash, almost everybody's got GCash here. Even in the sari-sari store. And like Michael S. is saying, with GCash, you can withdraw money from your GCash. There's even like at the mall, even here at Numancia, we're a small town in Numancia. They're called cash in, cash out. So basically, I can take my phone, and if I have like 10,000 pesos in my phone on my GCash, I can go to the cash out and I'll tell the vendor, the cash out, hey, I want 5,000. I'll send you 5,000. Give me cash. And that's how it's almost like an ATM. The GCash has become like the Filipino ATM because again, not everybody here has a bank account. Not everybody here has an ATM. That's why sometimes at the ATM, the lines are long because like people don't know how to use the ATM. You know, you'll be surprised here in the Philippines, the amount of people that go up to the ATM machine and they will call the security guard. And the security guard will like guide them through how to use the ATM. Because they don't, they don't use it. They've never had it or they don't use it often. Sometimes they even tell the security guard, type your PIN code, and they go, "What's that?" Or here's my. They even give the security guard their PIN code. It's like because I'm standing there and I watch. It's like the security guard is just. Not just guarding the door with the shotgun, but also helping people get money through the ATM. It amazes me, man. I'm converting. LOL. LOL, Michael. Withdrawals from ATM. And you can pay anything. You can eat at the cafes here, 7-Eleven. You can go anywhere here and pay using GCash. I can even load my GCash now at 7-Eleven. They have a machine right there. When you come in, it's click Q. I can just put in there, like put my phone number, and then how much I want to load my GCash, and then go up to the cashier, pay them. Like if I said, load my GCash 5,000, there's a fee, I think 50 peso fee, like less than $1 fee. And then I give the teller 5,000 pesos and they load my GCash. GCash cash in and cash out is so highly used now, highly used here in the Philippines. And they're copying it. There's like Paymaya. I even saw something. Manny Pacquiao is even involved in something where it's like Manny Pay. Manny Pays. He's creating his own GCash. Manny Pacquiao, man. He's awesome, man. I love Manny Pacquiao, man. At least he's not one of those boxers that go broke. He's one of these boxers that's like finding more ways to like make money. It's like, I think at one time Manny Pacquiao even had his own crypto money. I was like, Manny Pacquiao crypto. Now he's got Manny Pay, So he's going to be competing with GCash with this Manny Pay, man. Manny's all right, man. I love Manny Pacquiao. Twice a year to check on my papaya farm. Oh, nice. You got a papaya farm, man. We have a few papayas planted now. Actually, they harvested some of the papaya at our land in Katiklan. Yep, cash in or cash out if you need physical cash. I'm learning. I'm learning. Yeah. Me, Michael, I don't believe in the online banking. It's like I don't use online banking in the Philippines, man, just because I just don't trust their security thing, man. So I went back old school. We got a passbook and ATM. That's the basic things that we use. Dollar account, peso account, we got passbooks. Dazzle's got passbooks at Metro Bank. I have passbooks at PNB and Banco de Oro. And then we have 3 ATMs that we use. And even when I load my GCash, I load my GCash with cash because I don't want to go online to like one of my bank account. And I used to be able, I do that. I did that before, but I don't just trust the security part of that here in the Philippines because I've seen too many people get hacked. And I don't want that to be an issue. So me now, when I load my GCash, I go to my ATM, I take 10,000 pesos from my ATM, and then I load that money into, I go to the cash in, cash out, I cash in or 7-Eleven. I'll drop the 10,000 pesos at 7-Eleven, load my GCash. You know, that way it's not, I don't have to log in online on my online bank account. I just don't trust it here. I'm just trying to be safe. I'm just trying to be safe with my money. I don't have that much money. So I have to be careful with it. That's owned by Globe, the cell phone company. Globe is owned by Ayala, the conglomerate that owns many property, malls, and BPI. Okay, so GCash is owned also. It makes sense, man. You know, the conglomerates there, they own everything here. You mentioned security guards helping at banks. I've seen a security guard remove trays from tables at McDonald's. Yeah, they're all around, right? Skating geezer. You know, our security guards here at Camellia Clan. That's why you don't see stray dogs here, right? Because they're also dog catchers. You know, they're like, man, our security guards are like dog catcher. Boss Rooster, when Boss Rooster's trying to go into our community, they're shooing Boss Rooster to leave. I mean, they accept packages for us. You know, it's like, if I have a package coming in, I will just like tell him, yeah, just leave it with the security. Or Dazzle, when she orders something from Lazada, Dazzle will put money in like a Ziploc bag, put her name and the amount, and she'll leave that with the security guard at the gate. That way, when we're gone, the security guard signs for the package and pays them. You know, they're multitask. Security guards here are multitask, man. Castaway. Yes, Gino. Since I am using my American Bank, PNC, and then transfer to Wise, and then on to, not sure I want or need it. Yeah, you don't. You can get by. You know, a bank is not really needed. You know, a bank account here. I mean, you know, I don't. You know, if whatever works for you now, if it's convenient, if it's easy for you to do, I don't see, you know, needing a bank account. Yes, security guards are amazingly nice people. Also multitasking, going above. Yeah, they always go above and beyond. I thought I saw somebody. Oh, it's mom. It's mom. I thought I saw somebody in the stairs. Mom is getting ready to leave. She's got she's going out. She's going out. Mom's going out.
I will go to after Tikabato Kalibo.
Oh, okay, going to Calibo?
So the SPG and
Oh, all right, all right. She's headed to Calibo today. Nice people, also multitasking, going, yeah, they're just amazing. I mean, yeah, same thing here with the guards at our community. Same thing with the guards at City Mall Calibo. Hi, Mom. Hey, Jason Potter. Hey, Mom. Jason Potter said he misses your karaoke night.
no more karaoke.
Yeah, she said no more karaoke night. Yeah.
Maybe doesn't want.
Yeah, so I told Jason Potter, I'll tell Dazzle, you guys haven't done any karaoke since New Year's, right?
Yeah.
New Year's. Oh, I think because Jason, what happened? We all got sick. You know, it was after Ati-Atihan, like in January. Towards the end of January, we all got sick. I got sick. Dazzle got sick. Mom got sick. That's probably why we never thought we didn't do, and we were getting sick like one after the other, or you know. So now we'll get back to doing karaoke. I'm sure Mom, you know, Mom loves karaoke. Yeah, she misses karaoke. So. Yeah, see, Jason remembers, Mom, you were making money in karaoke.
Thank you,
You're making money. Bond, get friendly with cops too, or traffic enforcers. Buy them a drink or lunch. Goes a long way. We don't see many, you know, Not in Numancia. We hardly have any traffic. Calibo has traffic enforcers, but not even Calibo doesn't have many. You don't see many cops here in Aklan province. Fortune. Yes, security guards are nice people. Their primary role is to keep the peace and secure the premises and the personnel of the company they work for. But they help. Oh yeah, they do so many things. So many. Yeah, parking even. Like every time I go to Paris Retiro, they have 2 parking spots in front of Paris Retiro. And every time I have to pull out, the security guard always comes out. He's in full uniform. It's hot. He's like stopping traffic, helping me like back out. You know, it's like a really good dude, really good dude. Opening day for May MLB commentators. I can't wait, man. I can't wait for the baseball season. I know we lost. USA lost to Venezuela. Congratulations to Venezuela. 3-2, 3-2. I thought we had it when we tied a game with Bryce Harper hit that home run, but they scored the very next inning, unfortunately. But I can't wait for the baseball season to start. In restos, like what skating said, organize the line. Oh yeah, they keep the peace. You know, in like a place like Jollibee, you know how it's always long lines at Jollibees, trays, people with seating. It's a madhouse at Jollibee here. You know, there's a lot of people. You need a security guard to get everybody organized. Major League Baseball. I know opening day is coming soon. I know. I know Shohei Ohtani is supposed to be pitching. It's preseason, but he's supposed to be pitching. Good morning to Mom, Angelie, my fishing advisor. That's a colonel. The colonel said.
Hello, Colonel.
Mom said, hello, Colonel. Jason Potter, your family just seems to be in the happiest channel. Thank you, Jason. We are, man. We always give each other a hard time. We're always like laughing. We're just happy together, you know. I think we just, because we don't have stress. We don't, you know, it's like our daily routine is like this, you know. I'll do a live stream. Dazzle will get up. We'll come up with something like what to eat for lunch. Maybe a trip to the public market. We come home. Mom and Dazzle always want fish. We always have fish and vegetable. We always get fish and vegetable at the public market. And then, and now, you know, Mom, Dazzle, and Leanna, used to be just Dazzle and I doing like a sunset walk. Now they're in the walking thing too now at sunset because the weather's nice now. So every afternoon here at sunset, more people are coming out during sunset because we have nice weather. They're walking outside now too. But thank you, Jason, for that. In the office, I give our security guards food from time to time. I do the same thing. You know, people always see me, you know, whenever I get pandesal, I always get the security guards pandesal. And then when we have like extra food, like when we eat out, like one time we even ate at the Hayahay, the oyster place, and we had too much food that we ordered. And even leftover food, man, our security guards on the way home, when you tell them, hey, kuya, we just ate the restaurant, this or like, man, they don't mind, man. They're not picky here, man. They're like, oh, man, but salamat. They're happy to get anything, you know, because they don't get paid much. I know the security guards don't get paid much. They have to bring their own food, you know, so anything they get is, you know, they appreciate it so much. Anything extra that they get. We have a lot being a head of office of the bank with 2 towers, over 40 hours each in houses. Ooh, I bet, man. You got a lot of security guards. That's cool, Jason Putter. A UN office and Taiwan economic office, which is like an embassy, but not really due to one China policy. Oh yeah, why China? One China policy. Send yourself Gcash. Gcash is just so useful because it avoids you from carrying cash. And then if you do need cash, you can just It's almost like an ATM, because you can go to many places, cash in, cash out, and just get cash that way. You can pay grocery with it. You can pay gasoline with it. Sari Sari store even takes GCash here. TV spot channel confirms. TV spot. Yeah, I subscribe for Spot TV. Spot TV is I start my subscription to Spot TV when the baseball season starts because I can watch the baseball games on my phone. So I give good to the guards in basement 3 where my car is parked. Okay. That way they can keep an eye on your car, Fortune. To the lady guard at the ground floor and the lady guard in our office floor. Oh, that's cool, man. See, we're the same, man. We Fortune, that's why I can tell we're brothers because we know how to take care of people, man. I'm the same way, It's like if people are nice to me, I also make sure I take care of them.
Sunduin ko muna yung ninong mo.
All right.
Kasi, anything pa kami punta, andyan na sila.
All right. No worries, Mom. Okay, all right. Mom is picking up a couple of our relatives at the gate. A couple of our relatives needed from Katiklan. They're going to Kalibo, so and it's early. Their appointment in Kalibo is not 11 till 11, so they're gonna hang out here in our house. Netflix will have Yankees opening day. Oh, cool. Thank you, Derek. I'm gonna check that on. But I'll subscribe to Spot TV. Spot TV is I subscribed to them last year, and that's how I watch baseball games. It's a monthly fee. I have to pay a monthly fee. I think it was like 300 pesos or something. I don't mind because I love baseball. Now, if you can just get the security guards to police the line cutters. Yeah. I'm sure you get more of that, Colonel, because you got more people in Iloilo City. And you come here to Kalibo, you see, we don't have the amount of people that you guys have in Iloilo City. There's certain days where you got, more people at Grand Gaisano, but you definitely have a bigger population there in Iloilo City. As always, Gino puts the wheels in motion with nothing but happy vibes. Brother from thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate that, Castaway Drift. Michael, appreciate you, brother. Master Fortune is a great friend, certainly a valued asset. Very thankful for his, this is awesome that, Fortune does a lot for us. All right, I think I'm going to end the live stream right there. I'm over 2 hours. I tried to keep it under 2 hours, a little over today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the live stream today. Everybody, you have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And everyone, please stay blessed. Stay blessed.